Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I was thinking about the Saudi card, the December the 23rd card. And there's one fight that just won't stop jumping out at me. Um, it's really, when I first heard of it, I kind of laughed and dismissed it as being a kind of a joke. But it just keeps coming back into my mind, and that is Filip Hrgovic against Mark De Mori of Australia. Now, we know about Filip Hrgovic. Hrgovic is an accomplished amateur, currently undefeated, 16 wins and 13 by knockout, no draws, no defeats. He's 31 now, from Zagreb in Croatia, and he was last seen stopping Dempsey McKean. This was back in August of this year in 12 rounds. He did not look impressive in that. He had kind of a bad fight against Zhilei Zhang. I mean, it's a bad fight. I mean, Zhilei Zhang, we know how good he is. Perhaps I underrated Zhilei Zhang beforehand, but he struggled with Zhang. Although Zhang is a good fighter. Zhang is a good fighter. The rest of his opponents, if you go back, he stopped Rydell Booker, who's basically a former super middleweight, now a journeyman heavyweight. He stopped him in 5 rounds, and Eric Molina got done in 3 like he always does, and so he won a decision, decision over Kevin Johnson. I mean, I'm going back to like 2018 or something now, but his career hasn't really panned out as quickly or as productively as a lot of people were predicting. And this is a guy, he's 6'6", he's a big, imposing so-and-so, looks intimidating, big, gruff-looking face, and got some real skills. He's got the skills to go with the size. The orthodox fighter, hangs everything, jabs well, hangs it off the jab well with all the combinations. He seems to have all the tools, but he hasn't quite put it all together. And frankly, so far, has been a little bit disappointing, especially in recent fights. But to give him Mark De Mori, I'm struggling to think of a bigger heavyweight mismatch on the main stage than this one. I have no idea how Mark De Mori is on this bill. Well, it's probably a promotional thing. Is he promoted or managed by the same people that manage Opataya? I want to say he is, but I could be wrong. Anyway, he's 41 years old. He's from Perth in Western Australia. 6'2", and his record is 41 wins with 36 KOs, 2 defeats, and both the defeats have been first-round stoppages. Now, the last one, you may well remember, was going back nearly 8 years to was it 20? Yeah, January 2016, I think it was, against David Haye, and Haye smashed him up, knocked him out in a round, just over 2 minutes. And De Mori, he said, I think he's been quoted as saying he initially learned boxing by watching it on the internet. And it looked like it against Haye as well. Now, since then, he's had about 10, 11 wins, but the quality of the opposition has been absolutely terrible, with most of those opponents having losing records. He last won an 8-round decision over a guy with 16 wins, 20 defeats, 2 KOs. That was in September of this year, so it's quite recent. The guy had been stopped 11 times, this guy he fought, but De Mori couldn't stop him. So the idea that this 41-year-old, 6'2" guy with the most padded record imaginable can go in against Filip Hrgovic is kind of ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And when I first heard about this fight, I laughed. I thought, it's a ridiculous matchup. But never mind, don't push that one to one side. We'll concentrate on the good ones, because there's a lot to admire on that December the 23rd card. But that kept coming back into my head. Like, what the hell? What is that fight? It's a farce. I'm taking it. It's going to be on early in the night so we can just get it out of the way. Hrgovic can have his 1-round knockout, which is probably what it's going to be. And, yeah. I mean, put it this way. If Mark De Mori beats Filip Hrgovic, in my mind, it will be as big an upset as when Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, probably bigger. That's the gulfing difference as far as I'm concerned. Now, I exclude things like, you know, a cut-eye defeat, an injury defeat or something like that. You fall over and break your leg or whatever. But if Mark De Mori is capable of lasting, I mean, I think it's a one-round fight. But if he's capable of taking him the distance, I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. I mean, that really would cast a big shadow over Hrgovic. If Hrgovic struggles with this guy in any shape or form for any period of time, if Mark De Mori lands, say, a decent combination on Hrgovic and rattles, if he puts him on the floor, even a flash knockdown, this will be a very, very sad, bad reflection on Filip Hrgovic. And I just wonder, okay, it's a ticking over fight, but come on, man. I mean, what are you getting out of this fight? It's lose-lose. I mean, maybe he's getting a big fat paycheck for a knockover job. Fair enough. But we know how badly they can go because of Fury and Ngannou. But trust me, Ngannou would smash the crap out of Mark De Mori. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know. This guy's actually ranked, by the way, De Mori. He's in the top 10 of one of the ruling bodies, which kind of says all you need to know about them. I think it's a WBA, but I get them confused. I think it's a WBA. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. I know I've got lots of Australian fans who watch this channel. That's fine. Look, I'm not slagging off your boxing. I think you've got some great fighters, but Mark De Mori isn't one of them. And I think it's a complete mismatch. Let me know what you think, all of you. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscription button. It helps us out a big deal. And also, little tap on the little thumbs up button as well. That would be great. Looking forward to reading your comments, and bye for now.